Hi guys, welcome to the first modeling lesson of the course. We're going to start by creating a sphere. We'll go to this bottom here where we get these primitive objects and we'll click on the sphere. When we get the sphere, we don't get a polygon mesh by default. But we need to see it. To activate it, go to View and select Garage Shading Lines. This shows us the polygon mesh and we can see how many polygons it has. Here we can change the segments, so the higher we put it, the more segments there are. And here in type, we can choose the type of sphere we want it to be. So tetrahedron, hexahedron. In this case, we'll set it to icosahedron. And set this to 60. So we need to start modeling a side here. We make the object editable and select the polygons here. When you've done this, we're going to change the interface of the program by going here to Layout. It's set to Standard, but we'll change it to Modeling. This tab appears here at the bottom, and we're going to select the Brush tool. So we're going to sculpt from the ground, which is this mesh here, downwards, so elongating this area. Select and drag down. You can do this freehand, make it whatever shape you like. In this property panel here, we can change the settings on the brush, changing the way it shapes or deforms the surface of the object. We could try different modes. Pull. I'm not so sure about this, I'll try spin. And you see how it spins and curls the mesh. Set it to smear and start shaping the side of the object. Don't worry too much about the shape, try different options. You can also increase or decrease the strength and the fall off too. So once we have the shape more or less, we need to delete all this area here. This needs to be flat. This will be the ground of the island. We can do that on this icon here and select Bool. What this tool does is create a mask. First, we'll create this cube, and this cube acts as a mask. So if we want this area to disappear to get our flat ground, then we can place the cube like this. So everything the cube covers will be cut. I'll just make it a little bit bigger and raise it a bit more. And now we can apply the bools. Put the cube inside the bool, and you see what happens. The sphere has made a hole in the cube. To do the opposite, simply take the sphere and place it on top of the cube. And now we have a perfect cut, which is going to be the ground of our island. If you want to hide these angles you see here, then select Hide New Edges. The cube is invisible, but it's still there, so we can move it as you see. Like I said, it acts as a mask. Let's name this, otherwise we'll get lost with so many different elements. So our shape is island and the cube mask. Now we're going to give it the low poly appearance because the mesh is still quite dense. So go here to this icon and select Polygon Reduction. And we place this inside the islands. So this is like a tree, okay? Just like any other design program, whatever you put inside an element acts in that particular element. So if I put this in the cube, then it would be the cube that had its polygons reduced. But we put it inside the islands, and you see we got the effect we were looking for. It now has a lower polygon count that we can adjust even more down here. So the higher we set it, the fewer polygons we get. Let's set it to around 95 or 96. When you create a cube like we did, these tags appear on the side. Click on this one and we'll change the smoothing angle to 0 and see what happens. The sides, the faces of the polygons, stand out a little more, and this is the effect we are looking for. The sides, the faces of the polygons, stand out a lot more, and this is the effect we are looking for. I'm just going to work on the body of the island a little more. All of this is adjustable, so if we click on this button here, we can undo these effects. If you select the islands, you can continue sculpting. Select Polygon Selection and the brush, and you can carry on sculpting and shaping your object until you're satisfied with the result. Then you just activate this again and see how it looks. So play around with it if you like, and when you have a shape that you think looks good, we'll continue with the second part of our modeling.